Oh, crashing. All right, I'm going to get everything set up so that we are all the places we said we would be. Oh no, what happened? Oh goodness. Technology. All right. Just waiting for the Facebook Live to get all set up. All right, we will get started and then we will share the video for anybody who wasn't able to tune in live. So first, I wanted to show you guys the craft because we're going to do the craft along while we are talking to Mckayla. Let me make the machine work. There we go. Only we could make the machine work. Oh. All right, so I'm going to play the slideshow for you. I swear I am. Here we go. All right, so the strawberry construction paper craft. You're going to need a sheet of red construction paper, a sheet of green, and a half sheet of white. Your Mod Podge and a scissors. If you don't have your Mod Podge anymore, feel free to use any glue you want. So you're going to take your red paper and set it longwise. And you're going to fold it so that the short ends touch. Draw on your half a heart along the folded side. You're going to want this guy to be big and fat. And cut him out. Now we're going to switch to our green paper. You're going to have him going up and down. You want to fold him so that the long edges touch, because we want these hearts to be more narrow. So you're going to make 3 along the folded edge, 3 hearts, half hearts. Chop them out. Well, cut them out. And the next is the white paper. You can do this a couple of different ways with the half sheet of white paper. You can either just fold it in half and cut out a lot of little hearts, or if you're feeling super fancy, you can fold it into an accordion so that you can cut multiple hearts at once. So you'll make it kind of look like that, so that you have 3 folded edges. Unite them all and draw some hearts on there. 3 to 5. Mine are a little bit excessively large, so you're going to want to go smaller. Cut them out and you'll end up with 2 for each one if you use that method, because you're cutting through both levels at the same time. And that's what it looks like when you open it up, if you use that method. Now it's time to glue. I cut out a little stem just because I was feeling fancy. And you apply glue to one of your green hearts. And attaching with the end pointing in. Now you can see mine's a little small, so he doesn't go all the way to the edge. That's okay. If yours goes over the edge, that's fine too. Second one going the opposite direction, so they meet in the middle. And then the third heart with the pointed side facing up. Now you're going to take your white hearts. Yours will be smaller than mine. I got a little crazy with mine. And you'll glue them on so that they look like seeds. As many as you want to put on there. I only had room for about 4. But that's because mine were so big. And then if you want to take a marker, you can add some accent marks to make it a little fancier. So you can put things like leaf veins or seed shadows. You can draw a face on there if you feel like it, whatever makes you excited. And ta-da, here is our heart strawberry craft. Now a little bit of silliness for you. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? He looks pretty yummy. Maybe just a little nibble. No, that's ridiculous. Don't do that. That's silly. Paper tastes bad. We will pet him instead. All right, so that's an overview on how to do your craft. At the end, we'll want to share those with everybody. So Miss Mckayla, are you ready to give us your presentation, dear?
I am. Let me share my screen. All right. All right, so I am.
If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat and I will collect them for you at the end. I'm sorry, dear, go ahead.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, so my name is Mckayla Achatula. I am the county coordinator of the Master Gardener program through Penn State Extension for Bradford County, Sullivan County, and Tioga County, Pennsylvania. Just a little bit about the Master Gardener program. Our mission is to provide horticultural knowledge and skills to our communities and the gardening public. All of our volunteers complete 40 hours of basic training education, and they're required to do 50 hours their first year of volunteering, so we can better serve the home gardening audience. Then they are full-fledged Master Gardeners through Penn State Extension. A lot of our volunteers acquire hours by answering home gardening questions through our garden hotline. They speak and present to garden clubs, libraries, other organizations, schools. We do a lot of community beautification projects. We help maintain some demonstration gardens throughout the county, including the Towanda Veterans Memorial sites. We just started a new project up at Mount Pisgah State Park at their nature center. And we hope to continue to grow and add volunteers within the next year. So if you are 18 and older and you're interested in becoming a Master Gardener, you can shoot me an email at mqa5887@psu.edu. And strawberries. So as most of you probably know, strawberries are known as low growing perennials, which means they stay pretty close to the ground. And they do this by growing stolons or runners from the buds at the base of the leaves. So we have some basic parts of a plant. We have the root system, which you won't see, it'll be under the soil. We have the crown, which is right above the soil horizon and right as the stems and leaves start to grow. We have the big leaves at the top, and then as the buds grow, runners also grow out through the buds. This allows strawberries to produce daughter plants and get more fruit throughout as the runners grow. There are two main types of strawberries. There are the June bearing, which is the most commonly grown in Pennsylvania. And these are the type of strawberries that you see when you pick them up at the Walmart or Wegmans. They're grown commercially, or they're the most common grown commercially. They are early, mid-season, and late variety June bearers. And they have a lot of those runners, those stolons that grow out. There is also day neutral type of strawberries. They bear throughout the growing season, and they have 3 peaks of production: June, midsummer, and then late August through the first frost. They do not have a lot of runners, and their fruit is much smaller than the Juneberry type strawberries. The Everberry is also a third type of strawberry, and it's pretty similar to the day neutral, except for their peaks of production times are a little less than. So the everbearing and day neutral type strawberries are perfect for gardeners who have limited space, or if you're growing them in containers, which what you guys are doing. They can be grown in containers. They can be grown in terraced beds, in barrels, pyramids in your garden. And you'll see that the more experienced gardeners also use day neutral and bearing berries as an edging plant or a ground cover around their garden. So growing strawberries. Strawberries love the sunlight. They need good soil. It has to be fertile, rich in organic matter, and they do like their soil slightly acidic. Strawberries also love their water. Strawberries should receive about 1 to 2 inches of water a week. And they like it evenly moisturized. So don't dump it all in one spot or one area every day when you water it. They also, once you transplant it into a different container, or maybe if you transplant it into a garden out in your yard, you can mulch it with straw or hay or compost, and that will help it retain all the water. So you don't have to water it as frequently, and if you miss a watering, it won't kill the plant off. But as you grow them in containers or your pots, they will need daily waterings as they grow. So if you plan on maybe in the future growing strawberries right in your garden, you want to start in April, you don't want to go after June 1st, but because you guys are starting in containers, you're right on time. As you transplant it into a bigger container or maybe in your garden bed, you want to put plants in water a half hour before planting so they can soak up all the water they can before you put them in the ground or in a new container. If you have the Juneberry type strawberries, which you can find on the back of seed packets, if they're Juneberry, everbearing, or day neutral. So if they're Juneberry, because their strawberries grow bigger and they have a lot of runners, you want to space them 18 to 24 inches apart. And then for day neutral, which don't have a lot of those runners and they have smaller fruit that produce, you can plant them a little bit closer together, so between 5 and 9 inches apart. When you do transplant them, or again into your garden in your yard, you want to make sure that the soil line is above the roots and not covering the crown. And I have a picture in the next slide where you can see that. And then you also want to mulch them immediately, again, with compost or hay or straw, so it retains all the moisture for the strawberry plant. And then here is a good picture of a pretty full-grown strawberry plant. You see right here's where the proper depth is. You see the crown, you see the root system. So you don't want to replant or transplant your strawberry over the crown because that's too deep. You don't want to transplant it so the roots are showing because that's too shallow. You want that right green line right in between where the root meets the base of the crown. And then as you care for your strawberry, as it grows leaves and starts to flower, you can start pinching off those flowers only until June, so you can help new plants get established, so they can grow out those runners. You want to keep the soil evenly moist. If you have liquid fertilizer, you can put that in once in early summer, and that can kind of help kickstart your strawberry plant to grow stronger and quicker. And then again, you want to mulch with straw or dried grass to keep that moisture in. And as you start to grow berries, they usually ripen within 30 days after they fully bloom, after the plant fully blooms. You can pick your strawberries after, the strawberries have to be dry when you pick them. So if you water them, or if it's early in the morning and they still have dew on them, you want to wait until they dry before you pick them. And then they also have to be fully colored. And then those green little caps at the top, you want to keep those on there when you pick them. And then all you have to do is wash them, and you can eat them that way. You can grow a whole bunch of strawberry plants and pick them and make jam. I know a few people who make sauces for meals for their meats using strawberries. So there's a whole bunch of different ways you can use the strawberries after you pick them. But that's really what I wanted to cover, just the basics, the plant basics, how you water them, all that good stuff. So if you have any questions, again, just put them in the chat and we can send them off to me so I can help answer.
So how are you guys doing with your strawberry craft? We will re-show the video so you can see how to do it. How does that sound? Okay, give me just a second to get that up. It's a little silly, okay? Just a minute. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Here's how we do our strawberries. Not there, we do it the other direction. Hold on. Oh, technology. So you're going to gather your supplies. That was the red piece of paper, the green piece of paper, and your half sheet of white. And you're going to need some glue and scissors. If you have your Mod Podge and brush from the first craft, that works great. Okay, so here we go. So gather your supplies. And your red sheet, you're going to set it going longwise. And you're going to fold it in half so that the short sides touch, because we want a big fat part to make our strawberry body out of. Easiest way is to draw half a heart on the folded side so you can cut it out. But if you feel comfortable doing it freehand, awesome. Cut it out. Now we're going to go to our green paper. And you're going to put this going up and down. We want these hearts to be narrower and smaller. So you're going to fold it so that the long edges touch. And on that folded edge, you're going to draw 3 half hearts. They don't have to be exactly the same, just kind of the same. You can see mine aren't that perfect. and you're going to cut those out. Now we're going to go to the white half sheet. Now these are going to make your seeds, and you're going to have a couple of options on how you can do this. So you can fold it in half and cut out some small ones, or if you're feeling fancy, you can fold it into an accordion, and this is going to let you cut out multiple hearts at once. So I'm going to demonstrate how you fold that. Now my white hearts ended up being really, really big. So don't draw yours as big as I drew mine. You're going to want to do, if you do it unfolded like this, 3 to 5 hearts, but you can fit a whole bunch on your strawberry if they're not as huge as mine were. So when you cut it with the accordion style, you end up with 2. And when you open it up, it looks like that. So now we get to glue it. So I cut a little stem out of the green paper because I was feeling fancy. And then you take one of your green hearts and give it some glue. And you're going to attach that with the pointed end facing in. Now you can see my green hearts aren't nearly big enough. They don't cover around the whole crown, but that's okay. You attach the other one facing the other direction. And then your third one is going to be facing up into the stem. So it looks like the top leaves of the strawberry. And then with your white hearts, you're going to attach those like they're seeds. Now yours should be little bitty, but mine are huge. I was only able to fit 4 because mine were so big. And you can put as many as you want on there, and you can cut them whatever size you want to. Now, if you want to, you can go back and take a marker and draw some accent marks, something like the veins on the leaves or on the stems, some shadows on your seeds. Maybe you want to draw a big smiley face or a silly face, whatever you feel like. Ta-da! Now I think he looks like a pretty yummy strawberry. What do you think? In fact, I kind of want to give him a nibble. Oh, but paper tastes terrible. We shouldn't do that, should we? No, we'll wait till the real ones grow. For now, we will just love our strawberry. All right, so you guys kind of understand how to do the craft? So once you finish, you can share them with me either here or on Facebook. And I'm so excited to see them. So here's my big giant strawberry. It's as big as my head. I went a little crazy and made my seeds really big, but that's okay. All right. So I want to talk to you about one other thing. In your packet, you had this sheet of paper, and it talked about, there's a thing about pollinators, and there's 2 things about how to grow strawberries. Those are a lot of the tips that Mckayla gave you so that you'll have them handy for you, okay? And then on the inside, there is a picture of a strawberry, and you can use that to label what the different parts are that Mckayla told you about, okay? So do you guys have any questions that you want to share with us? So in the chat, Brooke asked if there's good companion plants for strawberries. And Mckayla answered and said they grow happily with beans and borage and chives and lettuce and onions and peas and radishes and spinach. I heard that they don't particularly like tomatoes for some reason. Is that right, Mckayla?
Yes, that is right.
All right. And regarding watering, this is why we gave you the drip tray, so that they could sit in some water so they have that little bit extra in between waterings. Okay, so make sure you use your drip tray. Okay. All right. So did anybody finish their strawberries and want to share them, or you just want to share them with me online later? Nope. All right. Well, please make your strawberries and share them with us. Next week, Mckayla's going to talk to us about nutrition, and I'm going to talk to you about a couple of recipes that you can do with all your strawberries. And we're going to do an origami craft. Does that sound like fun? Awesome. All right. We will see you guys next week. Please share your strawberries. And if you haven't already shared your pot design with us, please do. We would love to see them. Right. You guys have a lovely day. It's supposed to be beautiful out. Go play outside if you can, okay? All right. Wave. Aw. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.